Hello and welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off.
And if one thing last week tells us they were working fucking overtime.
I think they were working overtime last week. It was a weird one. Weird one. We definitely want to address some of that stuff again now that more information has come out about Charlie Kirk's assassination, murder, execution, whichever you want to call it. Really, right.
We reacted to that like literally, I would say, was it 20 minutes after it happened?
Not even 20 minutes.
15.
He was pronounced dead when we were actually recording. I stand by that show. I think we did a cracking job of it. I think 99% of people also we had the biggest reaction to a show we've ever done to that show, which I mean, it doesn't surprise me given the news that it was, but it does surprise me in some respects as well, because let's not forget we've had some reasonably cool guests over the shows as well. You know, even the first Bart Sabrell one we did, all that sort of stuff, and that was the biggest reaction we had. And I've had messages which you covered the fucking spectrum, fucking all manner of spectrums. The people turn around and say, most people said, fucking very difficult show to do, fucking very difficult time to be doing that show. I think you did a really good job. That was pretty much the main sentiment of people. Some people turned around and said, you fucking paid by Israel and you didn't immediately blame the Jews. You piece of shit. That's not verbatim, but it's almost verbatim. Then
how can we be paid by the Jews? We've both got foreskins.
I've been accused of trying to start me, Lee, not even just the show, personally trying to start a civil war in the United States. Now, I can only equate that to is whoever this person is over here that thinks I can start a civil war in the United States of America. They are the equal and opposite to what my ex-girlfriend thinks of me. If she thinks of me as just a little bit above pond water, he has me up there with fucking deities and gods, fucking all sorts of things. So that was pretty wild. But yeah, I before we get into some of the new information that's come out about that, it's I think it's a real sign of the times, because it strikes me I went into that show we did, and I don't think I've never gone into a show the way that's done. I've always enjoyed, I've explained this to a few other people. I remember when I first started, some people say being radicalized, but being dragged towards the center then to end up kind of where I am, which I think is just probably center right. And I was left before that. And it was through people like Douglas Murray. I used to watch a lot of Milo Yiannopoulos' college things where he go in and speak to people, much in the same way as Charlie Kirk did. And it's interesting because even back then, although you didn't really expect violence, and I think he probably did it mostly for the visceral reaction to him doing it, but he used to always wear a flak jacket in those college tours.
Who, Milo Yiannopoulos? I can't say that name.
Do you know what?
No, I'm not going to do that.
I'm just impressed you tried. But yeah, I enjoyed watching him. I used to enjoy watching a bit Ben Shapiro at times. I've Louder with Crowder. I was a big fan of Louder with Crowder, who actually I think, although it really became Charlie Kirk's signature doing the the Turning Point stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was that iconic picture of Stephen Crowder sat in front
I started
of
with Crowder.
starting with the pace table with Change My Mind. I like that was, I think that was the guy that like really made that a viral thing. If I'm wrong, I apologize. So I liked Charlie Kirk, but I would never have referred to myself as a fan or anything like that. But that we recorded, I'd only seen the long shot of him being shot, and like we pressed play, we pressed record to record that episode after I'd just seen the close up, and that was in hindsight. I don't even know whether it was a good thing to do, like a good time to record a podcast or not, because it's only after the fact that the more I've thought about it. Like, I mean, I've never been one of these people that have gone to seek out gore things.
No, me neither.
I'm not one of those people that has to see things. I feel fucking queasy.
I like
when
a gory game. That's about it.
Stuff
Or a
that's not
film.
real. Yeah, stuff that's not real. I feel queasy when I watch people do parkour. You know, that's kind of the fucking level of my extreme, like, graphical internet fodder. So I've only realized, like, over the coming days, and I wonder how many of our listeners have thought this as well, where they've seen like a clip of him pop up online. There was an excellent tweet I retweeted that he tweeted a couple of years ago, I think it was, where he says you could only truly know the character of somebody by the way they respond to people's deaths. I thought, that is so fucking, what a tweet from the guy that's been murdered.
And the fucking responses that some of the fucking absolute monsters have done.
Insane. But yeah, like I've found myself just like scrolling through the internet and like seeing a picture of him talk or seeing a photograph of him, and I just thought to myself, like, it feels fucking bizarre. That just the guy that used to just do Carlos Campos tours is fucking dead. Such a bizarre fucking thing to have happened. But again, I also think, and I've had arguments with people about this online. Thankfully, to be honest, and fair play to you, most of the arguments or that I've had with people, and realistically, I'm overstating this. They've been few and far between, and like I said, we get a lot of DMs and we get a lot of tweets at us. Like, there's always a tweet. There's always, like, even if it's 4 or 5, there is. Every time I pick up my phone and I go to our page, there is always a tweet to us. Yeah. There is always a DM. We've never got an empty inbox, and it's quite difficult sometimes to work out exactly how many people you hit. And it's kind of the only reason I'm saying this is to give a broader vision on how people respond to us and how this is such a small minority. So I worked out, because you need to use a couple of different things really to work out your best estimate of what your listener base is. And I've worked out that our monthly individuals we hit about 100,000 people a month. And which, we're not fucking Mr. Beast by any stretch of the imagination. But I also are a beast. But I also appreciate that we're not your mate and Bob from down the road, which have got a podcast that their girlfriend and dog listen to. So out of those people, like, lots of people get in touch with us. We had, I think, nearly 100 comments just on that episode alone on Spotify, which is a lot of comments. If you go and look at really popular podcasts, like even from podcasts that get many more downloads than us, we seem to have a very
we've got an active audience,
very
audience, engaging,
which will speak to us. Yeah. So that being in mind, maybe I had 3 or 4 arguments with people over the course of the weekend. And like I said, that varied from actual arguments, like I was having today with somebody, or just people turn around and said, no, like it was fucking Mossad, or it was this, or it was that, and I
Can I
just
just
don't
say, do not
go.
argue with Lee. He gets hard over it. So
Oh, it did. There's no
I
point
know
in arguing
this.
with me over
I
stuff
know
like
this from unfortunate. I've seen it. I felt it during an argument.
But,
Do not
yeah,
argue with him.
yeah, but no, I just wanted to say that, just to point out the fact that 90% of people were kind of were sort of on board with it, and there was but it was a strange reaction to that show. There was a strange, even the people that came at me, and the guy I was arguing with today, which is the reason I wanted to bring this up properly. I would argue, having speaking to this guy for a good, he managed to steal a good 35 minutes of my life off me. He was the prime example of what I would say by someone that was indoctrinated from the left. There was no wiggle room for conversation with him. It was, he'd made his mind up before he even messaged me, and I turned around to him and said, "Look, like I said, don't get me wrong. I know how some of that stuff could come across. I said, but I will be proven right." And he was like, "No, it was a fucking Republican. It was a right-wing Republican that killed him." As I turned around to him and said, "What? The right-wing Republican that was drawing trans and Antifa logos on the bullets and onto the gun, and that would be the right-wing Republican that had a trans girlfriend." These are obviously all the hallmarks of a classic conservative. And then he said, he glanced over all that and basically told me that the right wing was a party of hate and violence. And I pointed out, this is probably where he kind of lost it with me. I just turned around and said, "Look," I said, "I don't have time for you anymore." A few years ago, a career criminal was killed in a arrest by a police officer kneeling on him. That career criminal had fucking 100 times the fucking fentanyl in his blood system to kill a fucking rhino, and he'd also held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach in a robbery. True fucking asshole. We all know who I'm talking about. And what happened when this career criminal died? Well, the left and Antifa took to the streets, with or without sponsoring from George Soros, and random piles of bricks left on different street corners. Businesses were fucking burnt to the ground. Business owners that were trying to protect their livelihoods were fucking dragged from their shops and beaten to death. Sections of a city were annexed and kept in section of a city that supposedly would have been like, if the left could have, and by bearing in mind, like when I'm saying the left here, I'm not saying your average fucking Democrat or Labour voter. That's not who I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the far left. We keep talking about far right, but for some reason people don't seem to be able to fucking separate the left from the fucking far left. You would think that would be the dream. That could be the beginning. Chad or Chaz, whatever it was called, could have been the beginning of the socialist fucking utopia that these people are desperate for. Instead, what happened was one person turned into a fucking warlord, and there was murders and rapes all over the place in there. And this happened in different cities across the US. It sparked angry protests in pandemic time as well, where to the point where the government were too scared to say no. Like apparently during this crazy pandemic where everyone was going to die, we're too scared of these groups to say no, you can't do that. We're supposed to be like staying home to keep the NHS safe.
People were that upset they didn't want other people to see it on the news on television, so they took the televisions from the shop so no one could ever watch any sort of news again, you know?
Like, I mean, truly selfless acts, Ollie. So that happened because a career criminal died during an arrest. Yet, when a beloved conservative commentator, not only that is beloved by like the public at large, as far as like right wing public at large, like let's be fair. He was also like beloved by the president, of which is beloved by this side of the aisle, credited with turning like large chunks of the young youth vote towards Trump. And yet when he's murdered, not just in front of his own wife and children, but in front of the children of the United States itself, none of us thought there was going to be riots. Not for 1 minute, not for 1 second after that happened. If everybody's honest with themselves, did they go, fuck, the far right will be out tonight. I bet they'll fucking torch a city. I bet they'll drag people from their businesses, beat them to death. I bet there'll be fucking Elon Musk bricks on every street corner to be thrown through windows. Fucking none of it. And I think more people need to acknowledge that and let that process for a second. Because if this had been the other way round, and this is like, I don't want this to happen to any of them. But if this had happened to a left-wing commentator, like it would have been fucking Chaz all over again.
That is such a good point you've just made there. I don't like saying that to you. I don't like giving you anything. But yeah, I mean, they lost. They lost. I think they lost a true fucking hero in America, with Charlie Kirk. And I think the way they've handled it is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I think we need to be careful not to do revisionist history here, right? Again, fan of the guy. I think they've turned him into a hero, martyr, if you want.
No, but how many kids' lives do you think, kids that might have gone in a certain way and gone fucking full on woke? How many kids do you think that guy might have got? They might have just thought, you know what?
Indoctrinated them into the filthy world of Christianity and fucking like the idea of getting married and having children. What a fucking like extremist, what a beast, asshole! Jesus Christ! Do you know the other thing that I've heard him say? The other thing I've heard him say is that it's really good for young people to get on the housing ladder and to work and try and buy their own homes. Fuck me! How could he stand there and say such hateful bullshit?
Mental.
Yeah, but anyway, like just to address stuff that we spoke about on that show, I said that I thought it would be a person of the left that did it. It looks very much like that, even though the media is trying to spin it to be a different way. Although I am seeing reports come out now that there might have been like the two people involved. He had an accomplice.
More. I'm hearing that other people might have known about it.
Yeah,
I've seen. You said we'd speak about this on the show, so this is. But I said, Lee, there's a book.
Yeah, well,
that came out the day before.
So there was two books I've seen. Sorry if people get really hung up on the way I say book. It's fucking it's a Manx accent. I'm afraid, boys and girls, you're gonna have to live with it. Book, Luke, and Kook are very much things I would say. No, oddly enough, that's fuck.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that one either. But
what about a duck?
That's still a duck. It's not a duke.
It feels so weird to actually be able to come back and actually do a bit of humor on a show after the show
It
was
does.
last week.
It does. It was a
Fucking
weird
hell.
show. Like that's the.
This is for all the new people. We thank you. Bad times, but the people that have come over to the Daily Conspiracy podcast, we're very much fucking a comedy conspiracy podcast.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Sorry, you were saying about the book. Fuck. Look
well
at
done, Lee.
that. I believe, and I've done a little bit of looking into this. So I think what happens is that there are people ready to look to release books on Amazon, like all the time. Like there will be books come out tomorrow, and they haven't like been. They're not there, if you know what I mean. Like there will be something released tomorrow, and the people are probably either going to knock some kids' book up on with AI and just publish that, or just get some other AI drivel and chuck it out. So I think what's happened is that what I would do in this situation, if I could be bothered trying to do it and I was smart enough, I would be ready to release a book every day. And then I would look at whatever the trending topics are in the news, and I would release books. I'm flipping in between it here, book and look and cook.
You're going to confuse people.
I know. I'm sorry. I should have even mentioned it, should I? I think they're ready to release these, so they'll look at like Hillary Clinton like comes up in the news, so it's like the life and times of Hillary Clinton, and they throw like an unfucking official biography out that day, knowing that there's going to be a group of people out there that look. It happened with Charlie Kirk and our episode about him. Like it was the biggest downloaded episode we had because it just whatever terms we used in the title, and we're not like SEO hunters, so that's fucking black magic to us. We put a title on that we think's cool, and that's about it. The title's not necessarily the thing either. It's the description. So it must have been whatever words and stuff and link up and that sort of thing. It's not just as easy as people are searching for UFOs, put UFOs in the title. It's not as easy as that SEO. I don't understand it. But we obviously rode that algorithm, and we got shown to a load of new people that wouldn't have usually found our podcast. I think that's what's happened with this book. I think it's been stated to be released, so that's why you're seeing that early release date on it. And then the day it's got shoved out the door, someone has gone to Grok or to ChatGPT and hammered a book out. I bet it's terrible. Like I bet if you read it, it's obviously AI written.
I mean, I'm not being funny. Like, what sort of a person fucking does that? If it's not a conspiracy, and somebody just literally goes, "Oh fucking hell, Keir Starmer gets molested by a midget at a fucking event," and the book about Keir Starmer getting molested by a midget, you know?
Yeah.
So they've got these books just on hand, loads of fucking different scenarios.
No. So think of it as a placeholder, yeah? So there's no book. There's just a placeholder to release a book on that day. That person's probably got a placeholder to release a book tomorrow and the day after and the day after. And they look at the news headlines for that day.
But the book came out the day before.
No. I think the placeholder was put in place the day before. So the book didn't come out the day before. The placeholder was put there. The book only came into being when it was essentially like released on the day. Yeah. So I think that's what's happened. I don't think there's.
But you're not 100%. This is not 100% Lee.
I'm not 100% on it. But
if you're new here, Lee says 100%. A fucking lot.
It just doesn't. It doesn't do anything. A badly written book to come out like the day before, or even on the day after, whatever. It it's not like that book is serving a purpose anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a grand part of the conspiracy. Some people would say revelation of the method. Some people would say, oh yeah, well that's the Illuminati. You're fucking getting out there early, so it absolves them of karma. Fucking possibly. Who knows? Like I always say I've got very little doubt left. But it feels more like it feels more reasonable to me that the book's a placeholder. There was nothing there in the first place. Charlie Kirk gets shot. The guy who had the placeholder goes, fuck me, immediately to ChatGPT, knowing how the algorithm was going to treat this event, got AI to knock a book up for him, threw it into Amazon. It got released the next day, and he probably made it was taken down, wasn't it? Afterwards, it probably made like a good chunk of change before it was taken down.
Yeah, how fucking wild was it that fucking Joe Rogan had a guy called Charlie on at the moment when Charlie Kirk gets shot? I mean, there's coincidences, but fuck me,
I hadn't even thought about it until you just said it, Ollie.
Weird though, isn't it? A little bit,
yeah, a little bit, kind of little bit. It's not his real name, though, is it?
Is it not?
No, because isn't his brother Emilio Estevez?
Oh, I forgot.
I forgot what his name really is.
But this is really, it's really shown, especially, it's really shown the fucking. I mean, I knew the media were cunts, but it's really shown them to be twats, hasn't it?
I thought it was wild. I think I brought it up on the podcast that when the BBC reported it, they couldn't even say conservative commentator. They had to say far-right influencer. Like that's... You just think, leave it a day. Yeah, just leave it a day. He's not far-right. It's ridiculous to say he's far-right. But yeah, I think that's the problem, and I think that's where this has come from. I can't remember whether I said it on the podcast or not, but we've had a decade now of normal conservatism being branded far right.
Mm-hmm.
Just the word Nazi, like the word Nazi used to mean something. Do you know what I mean?
Everybody's a Nazi. We're Nazis.
But that's the thing. But we had say 20 years ago, if someone said Nazi to you, there was a real criteria you had to meet to do that. So we're either talking about like National Socialists, or we are talking about people now in what would have been present day then that are prejudiced to people in sort of an unfucking fathomably laser focused way.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like you say, it's everything. It's fucking like if you don't want if you don't want your children being told that they have fucking 16 or 17 different fucking genders, you're a fucking Nazi. That makes no fucking sense. Or if you turn around and say, oh, maybe we should watch what we're doing in the immigration in the UK. Maybe the demographics shifting just a little bit too much. We need to stop people getting into the country illegally. You're a fucking Nazi. Like even the there was a great fucking there was a great thing somebody picked up. I was watching a news report this morning. I can't remember who picked up. It wasn't on this wasn't on GB News. It was somebody else that mentioned it. And I thought back to this 15-minute special thing I watched about the march in London yesterday.
Just quickly there, GB News were very respectful about Charlie Kirk's death.
I'm sure they were. Like, I mean, and realistic, I would expect them to be. Because, and don't get me wrong. I don't. This is not. This is not saying they did this because of it, but I'm just saying I would expect them to be because they're a right wing they're a right wing news source. In the same way, I'd expect the Guardian to be a bunch of cunts. But the people were turning around that were being interviewed from the protest, and they kept saying things like far left activists, or there's a few Antifa and stuff like that thrown out, but that was kind of what they were saying. Like, we just, they would refer to it as like the progressive left. Like we need to watch the progressive left. We need to watch the far left and stuff like that. On the other side of it, where you had your anti-fascist protests, that you had people screaming, "Fucking fuck the fascists!" Like fucking kill the Nazis. That's the fucking difference here. That if you speak to somebody from the far left, so I'll take it. Let's pretend the people that were demonstrating in London were far right, and then the people that are demonstrating against them are far left. How come the far right guys are saying, yeah, like we need to watch fucking the far left, but the far left guys are going, you fucking Nazi fucks.
With fucking, I'm not quite finished on the Charlie Kirk thing, so I do want to bring something up. But with fucking flags saying fucking, I don't, what did it say? Kill the gammon or something like that.
Oh yeah, I don't
know if it said kill, but it definitely had a white guy on there with a British flag on him, with a skewer going through his ass, coming out of his head. I mean, what the fuck?
Mm.
And every single one of them little twats has got a face mask on. Every single one of them. I didn't see one person on the supposed far fucking right wearing a face mask. Not one.
Well, it was it was part of the roll call, wasn't it, from Tommy Robinson on the thing? We seem to have gone into this. It's probably my fault. But that was part of the fucking menu of the day, wasn't it? Like, no face masks, do this. I'm glad it didn't end like cause I think the numbers were 26 arrests.
Is that all?
Apparently so. Bearing in mind there is an average. Well, sorry, I wouldn't say average. Oh, that's not fair. There was 38, 39 arrests at Glastonbury this year. So there's 210,000 people at Glastonbury. But the Conservatives, so this is where it gets flaky with the numbers for the people that turned up to the march in London. Some people saying like 100,000. Some people saying 150,000. Tommy Robinson is saying like fucking 3 million sometimes. I don't think there was 3 million there. I think there was
a fucking lot of people there.
I think there was the thick end towards 1 million people there. I think we're looking north of 500,000. Anyway.
I mean, do you know what? It was a fucking successful turnout. Let's put it that way.
It was. There was a couple of people of note that said they lived in that area, like in a high rise.
Maybe we can get fucking press passes for the next one. I don't know. Yeah. It might be big enough.
I think we probably could have done for this one, to be perfectly honest. But they turned around and said that they thought there was more people there than for the Queen's funeral, which is pretty wild. For the more people than the Queen's funeral parade. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
and all the. I mean, we're on this now anyway. All the people, of these new parties from like Germany, France, Romania.
I'm surprised there's anyone left from Alternative for Deutschland, seeing as how the World Economic Forum seems to be knocking them off at a fucking
I know that guy's got
rate
some
of
testicles. But like that was a powerful fucking turnout, and fucking Elon Musk coming on, like, I was literally blown away by it. I'm like, this is insane.
Mm.
That was a fucking that was a fucking movement, mate. And like the amount of because we talk the amount of Charlie Kirk flags as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like people with pictures of Charlie Kirk everywhere.
Yeah, I think that might have energized a lot of people to go. To be honest,
Yeah,
really do. It's going to be an interesting remainder of the year because two things can happen here. Either the news cycle does what the news cycle does best, so you will get Charlie Kirk's funeral, which will blip it again, and then what you have to remember is we have a pretty controlled mainstream media. I think that's fair to say.
Oh yeah.
They will be then like from the minute it's viable, they will try and memory hole what's happened, and they'll try and bury it with different things. And there'll be stories that come out which confuse things, that get muddled up with it and stuff like that. And I know a friend of the show, Ben, turned around and said like nothing massive's going to change or come with this, and people will forget really quickly. And you know, it's like as much as I don't want it to happen, I kind of think you might be right. You know.
Well, that isn't there's going to be more of these. That's just the first one. I think the more this happens, the more.
Sorry, I was sorry. I drifted back towards Charlie Kirk then.
Oh,
because you were saying about the sign, like that'll be forgotten, and that'll get memory hold.
I think you could be right there, because I don't think it'll ever be forgotten. You know, obviously that's always going to be there, but when it comes to like BLM, that's something that they don't want it to go away because it needs to stay there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I'd say people that lean more to the right are more wanting just to get along with their lives, you know, go to work, make a living, start a family, and just I don't think there's the hate that I think, you know, this. We know people, oh, fucking hell, I know people that are real fucking hard right, and so do you, that are accepting of people on the left. They may not.
I don't know. No, I don't know anything that's hard right. That's. In fact, I'll be honest, Ollie. I don't know anyone hard right.
I don't know. I think I know a couple that are pretty hard on the right. Not necessarily like friends, but I do know them. But I don't see them going out and fucking gunning somebody down. You know, I don't see them going out and kicking the fuck out of somebody because of what happened. I think that they, you know, these people genuinely. I think the problem is the mixture of what they did with woke. I think that created nutters, fucking nutters, Lee. And I don't think there's a lot of them. I think they make us think there's a lot of them. I think there's a lot of liberal people who are just fucking liberal people, you know, just nice people wanting to get along with their lives. I don't think they're all nuts like they try to make. I think there's people on the left and right that'll just get along, you know. They'll go to a barbecue, get along. They might disagree, but I don't think everybody's. I don't think that people that are on the left are going to be there going, I'm glad that guy's dead. You know, I don't think that's the thing.
I think you're right. I think the only difference I would find is, I think I know more left-wing people, right? So I will put, right.
I know more left wing people I do right wing.
Yeah, well, I kind of do as well, but I always think that's more because I get involved in music, and artsy people tend to lean that way a little bit more. Right, I would put if you had a scale, the left-right paradigm, I would put gender affirming care for children. Yeah, if you take that. What would balance that out on the right was, so if you've got a lefty that believes that we should medically interfere with children and allow them to transition from an early age, yeah,
mm-hmm.
I would put that on the left there, and what would balance that out on the right would be people turn around and saying we should fucking get rid of like homosexuals. We need to do that now. Like it's a clear and present danger. We can't have this anymore. The difference I have is that I know more moderate left-wing people that would believe in that than I know moderate right-wing people that have a problem with homosexuality.
Yeah.
I think there is a broader spectrum. I could be completely fucking wrong about this.
No, I think you're right.
I think there is a broader spectrum of the left which will entertain far left ideas than there is at least of the people I know, the right wing people that entertain far right ideas.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with it. And look, I've had arguments with what people which I think should be genuinely, and by this I don't just mean fucking keyboard warrior arguments, I mean face-to-face arguments with people that should be genuinely reasonable people to speak to. That you go, oh right, well you're far, you hold this belief, that's a far left belief. You're not just a normal Labour voter if you want to mutilate children. That's an extreme view in my eyes. Call me a Nazi if you want, but like that's an extreme view. That's like me turning around and saying like, oh, okay, every person that's not fucking white should be thrown out of the UK, which I obviously don't fucking believe because I'm not a cunt or a moron. So that was my post that I put on social media, kind of on behalf of us. Sorry, Ollie, drag you into my rage there. But where I pointed out, like, I'm kind of fucking done. I don't want to hear it anymore. Like, I don't want to hear this creeping fucking woke bullshit that comes in from and it always comes from like a level of authority, as if there's, like, oh no, you just don't understand. You need educated. Like, well, how about you get fucked by a rhino and go? How about that? How about that's the education you need?
I mean, they might like it, some of them.
I hope so. Look, I want everyone to enjoy themselves, including the rhino. But
do you? I want to go into the some of the posts that have the fucking hideous posts that have come out after Charlie got shot.
Yeah.
Where people
just quickly, Ollie, just to new listeners, usually we're themed. Usually there's like there's more of a theme that runs through a show. This was always going to be a little bit of a smorgasbord of fucking two topics, but carry on, mate.
Yeah, guys, we tend to be very alien and UFO heavy and demonic stuff. So, yeah, welcome to fucking the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. Mm-hmm. Speaking of demons, though, yeah, these people putting these posts out that have got these big fucking jobs, like the guy from fucking who's the fucking Japanese sword fighting game?
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima, the Ghost of Yote is the new one's coming out.
Yeah, what's the company called?
Is it? It's not
Sucker
Sundance.
Punch?
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they must think, you know what? I'm fucking indestructible. I can fucking put anything out I want.
I don't think they think that they're
Because
indestructible,
everybody
mate.
who works
No.
with me, everybody's like that, so I'm not going to lose my fucking job.
No, that's the thing though. But it's not the fact they think everyone that works with me thinks like that. I'm not going to lose my job. It's because they think everybody thinks like that. That's what
to me, you know, you must be a fucking lunatic.
No, it's just you're in an echo chamber.
But you must be a fucking lunatic. So do you think that you could put something like that out and get away with it?
No, because that's if you're in a world which constantly tells you
can have zero empathy.
No, that tells you fucking yellow is purple. Then you're gonna walk into like any other place and go, yeah, that's fucking purple, and they're gonna go, no, that's yellow. They go, no, like I know this. I've been around a load of people telling me it's purple. That's all it is. It's just, the other hilarious thing that somebody pointed out to me was that all the people that left X because it was a toxic social media platform which was run by fascists and Nazis promptly went over to Blue Sky to celebrate somebody's death. That amused me fucking no end.
Did you see the guy from Microsoft that put the rant out about losing his job and says, "Who are you people to you haven't got the right"? Have you seen this?
Right. Before we get into this, I'm going to preface something that might be unfucking popular. I don't think anybody should have lost their job.
I know what you're going to say because of free speech.
It goes both ways. Like that's like if you're not calling for action against somebody, I don't think it should fucking matter.
So it's a tough one, that,
because that's the woke right. That is the definition of the woke right is the idea of the idea.
I just think laughing at somebody's
doesn't matter.
Death.
Yeah, awesome. Because you know what happens? What happened there? Don't sack that guy. It's fucking fine. Let him stay in his job, and
let the company go under.
And let's see how many people buy Ghost of Yote now. In the same way as they soaked, people won't get this about video games, but in the same way as you had Dragon Age Veilguard, soaked in fucking trans propaganda. That game, trans and woke propaganda all over the place. It doesn't make sense. It's a fucking fantasy game. It's fucking dragons and shit. And what happened? People got clips of that coming out. People saw the dialogue options in the dialogue tree, of which one point, if I remember quite rightly, doesn't let you get out of you. Don't.
There wasn't an option not to be trans.
There wasn't. No, you could either be trans or genderqueer. That was like it when it came to that part of the game. And rightly so, that game fucking tanked. Tanked to the point that the studio is now defunct, which is a real shame because back in the day, they knocked some fucking games out.
But they fucking deserve it.
Yes, they do. But this has always been my problem with the left trying to fucking cancel people. Don't fucking... If you think I'm a racist and a Nazi, don't cancel me. Because I'll still do that. You just won't be able to see where I'm doing it. The best thing, like, if you've got a psychopath, yeah, you want to know who the psychopath is. Don't make them go underground.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. See, so we can watch these twats and see how they fucking progress.
Yes, but that's kind of.
Let me show you.
Yeah.
This absolute beautiful man. Feel so sorry for him.
I made some stupid comments about Charlie Kirk.
You've been done.
Are you kidding me?
He's a right-wing comedian and he's fucking hilarious. You've been had.
Ah! What a genius!
His stuff. I didn't even need to look at that picture. I heard his voice go, "Oh, Ollie, what have you done?" No, he's great.
Have you seen this?
I've not seen that, but he's fucking funny.
Well, let me play it then. Let me play it.
Okay, yeah.
So this guy is this guy. I fucking bought this hook, line, and sinker. Does he really have a nose ring though?
No.
He's put that in. He's. You're right. He's a fucking genius.
I made some stupid comments about Charlie Kirk on the day that he was shot. I said some things on Blue Sky and on Threads that I'm sorry, not sorry for, but I said them and I deleted them when it was requested that I do so by my employer. And then today on a weekend, I'm told that I am no longer employed at Microsoft. After 6 years, building the diversity, equity, and inclusion department from scratch, I lose my job because one of you, some random person, reports my posts to my employer, goes out of their way to find out where I work, and takes my job, takes my security away from me for a thought, for an opinion. And you talk about freedom of speech like you care about it, and you're just going to take my money, my life, my food off my plate because I don't like Charlie Kirk? That's not okay. It is not okay.
I can't believe I fell for this, but the thing is, that's how dramatic they fucking all act.
It's why some people's satire is fucking perfect, Ollie.
Wow. Well done, mate. You got me.
But yeah, look, I just don't. I don't. I know there's websites been set up in order to track these people down, and that's, to be fair, I don't necessarily disagree with. Like, if you find the social media profile of somebody and you fucking retweet their profile and say, this guy's a prick, you just knowing who the pricks are. But I don't think it's, I don't know, mate. Again, like, this is what I said to someone today. Like, you can't fucking please everybody doing shows like this. And the funniest thing I've ever heard was somebody turn around to me once, someone I know, and said, the problem with your podcast is you go unchallenged. I'm like, motherfucker, if I say one thing wrong, I get like fucking 50 messages about it within the fucking hour of the show going live.
Have you seen the prediction that do you remember the guy that predicted Trump's shot with the ear, and he says he's going to get hit in the ear?
Yes.
Have you seen that? I mean, Charlie Kirk's not a pastor. Is he? He's not classed as. Is he classed? Not classed as a pastor, is he?
A pastor?
I don't know the American term for it. But he's kind of like a preacher, isn't he?
No.
I suppose. No, but he's religious.
Yeah, but he's still just a political commentator.
Because he did. Have you seen his prediction?
No.
It's the shot heard from around the world that he predicted before this, and he's basically implying that somebody religious is going to get shot, but it would be heard from all around the world. I've got the clip if you want it.
Yeah, play the clip.
I just found it a bit wild that, because it sounds like it, but I suppose it then goes back to what you were saying about the books, like people predicting shit. But the Donald Trump one that he did was wild when he said, and he'll get clipped in the ear.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
There'll be attacks against churches. There'll be attacks against churches in the days ahead. I saw major disruption in churches. I saw a major minister be taken out in his service. And the Lord said to me, it will be called the shot heard around the world. Because they're trying to bring fear about the revival that I'm about to bring forth. If they can get you to fear and not want to go into my buildings, He said, the devil's trying to combat what I'm about to do with the glorious church rising, Brandon. But he wants to use strategic people in the body to bring fear. And he said, this will be the shot heard around the world. Pray for that minister. And I saw who it was. A mega minister.
Yeah, he's not a minister.
No, he's not. Do you know what? Like, let's fucking be honest about this here. That guy sets off all of my bullshit radars.
I know what you mean, but the Trump prediction that he did was pretty wild and pretty accurate.
I can't remember what it was verbatim.
He said he would be shot in the ear.
It's pretty crazy, but like, especially if he's trying to fucking tag Charlie Kirk onto this as well.
He's not done that. Somebody's tweeted that out.
Because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But like, I don't know. There's something about that guy that does not fucking sit right with me.
Is it because he's so bald? Like really bald?
No, it's because he seems to be full of shit, Ollie.
I don't know. Maybe there are people that can fucking read the future.
I like the way he's turning around like saying, "Oh, he'll be called the shot heard around the world." Like that hasn't already been a thing.
Yeah, that was Kennedy's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am surprised. The one thing that has really surprised me with this is how fucking civil the right have been over it. Because I did say on, when did we record it? When did it happen? Was it last? It was the last show of the week, wasn't it? It was Thursday. I said that I think there'll be fucking chaos and it's gonna fucking implode. I expect it. I was really fucking. I thought, fuck me, this is going off. But you know what? I'm surprised that how calm people have been on that side.
See, that's the thing. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect violence from it. That's my point.
I did.
I'll
be honest, difference. I did. I expected like.
I don't think that something else might happen now. And there's been a lot of provocative things said by people, like Tim Pool, the guy whose name escapes me, they're from Redacted, Stephen Crowder, for instance, that how this is caused, like this is like a real divide. And I suppose, like, I try not to forget as well that we're all indoctrinated into our own little systems, and I tend to believe to believe that the right has been the I don't want to say like the thinking wing, but it's all I've really got over the past few years. The evidence for this, what I would have is that when you look at the prominent intellectuals right now, if you can go for your like Douglas Murray's Gad Sad, oh fuck me, people's names are escaping me now. We'll just go prominent commentators. People will be fucking finishing loads of stuff off for me here. It would be easier to sit down and write a list of 10 prominent right-wing like debaters or 10 prominent right-wing influencers than it would to point out like 10 prominent left-wing influencers.
Because they're terrible at debating for a start.
Well, I don't think that's always been the case though.
No, I don't think it's always been the case, but some of the things that they just debate now are fucking ludicrous.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think so. At some point, the When you start with flawed arguments, I think that's when maybe it might fall apart. So they might fall apart.
This is why I've said this before. I think it's all by fucking design. I think they're supposed to be lunatics.
Well, I've said this for a long time, haven't I? As well.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, say it.
I feel that we are being pushed, and slowly, and I like. There's part of me wonders whether this is the Agenda 2030. Like, this is like we look at this as a solution. We look at this as by populist, nationalist parties as being the solution to the World Economic Forum's Agenda 2030 and stuff like that. I don't think it is. I think it's part of the plan. I think I don't think you can do if they're going to create like a one world government, yeah. I don't think you can just go jackboots on people right away. I think you need to take the largest parts of those countries as societies, build something to hook them in, and that will drag the middle along with them. So then you don't just have like one side, you have one side and you have the middle. And then it doesn't, like in this case, it will be the left that's left behind. I don't know if that's by design or whether it's just that's the easiest way to work this. But the thing is, you have to remember, and this was a part of the argument I had with somebody today, talking about he wasn't happy with two Brits talking about American politics. Like he said, you talk about a country that you're not in. I asked him whether he agreed with Douglas Murray that Dave, who's the comedian's name? Dave
Smith.
Dave Smith, yeah. Did he agree with Douglas Murray that Dave Smith couldn't talk about Israel because he hadn't been there? Do you know what happened? That guy shut the fuck up and stopped speaking to me. But the things that are going on in the US, I think sometimes it's difficult. Maybe it's more difficult in the US to look outside of the US because America has always been quite an American-centric country, and I just wonder whether like a majority of people that over there are like looking, and rightly so, looking at their own politics, realize that there's similar things going on in all European countries as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not isolated. Like the people can call it the Trump phenomena if they want. That's fucking spread. But you know, it's like, it is weird, isn't it? That in America you have this, like Trump is the fucking very definition of a populist politician. Mm-hmm. Like you stick a fucking picture of that man next to populism. Then I forgot what the Populist Party is in Italy. Sorry, you've got Le Pen in France. You've got obviously the Alternative for Deutschland in Germany. In the UK, you have Reform, and now like whatever Ben Habib's party might even turn into.
Advanced UK.
Yeah, but I mean, wasn't it Austria? Was it Austria or Argentina? I forget. Which was kind of the first one. You know, the populist, like right-wing politician they brought in with the curly hair. He's got like mad hair, hasn't he? I forgot his fucking name, but like they were kind of the first to like adopt into this populist thing and actually like vote them in, like the first after Trump, I should say. I find it weird. I find it weird that this is going on all over the place. And it kind of makes me wonder whether if you wanted to form a one world government and you or at least change like the governmental structure we have as far as the way different countries get involved with each other,
you'd need to make one side so fucking hideously bad
but more so that the side you want, you'd really want on side. Because you want it to be like the even. I take it. I don't. Right. If you've got say North Korea, for instance, I'm sure it's fucking pretty hideous living in North Korea. I'd like to know, and obviously you've had like a dynasty there, but when that became North Korea, like it became lockdown, it became this ultra nationalist thing. I would guess that there are a lot of North Koreans there that fucking hate Kim Jong-un. I think there's probably an awful lot there which are like fully indoctrinated.
I'm sick of having this fucking haircut.
Yeah, no, but I imagine there's also a lot of people that are indoctrinated into that system and don't know or can even think of anything any different or any better. But there has to be a point where the love was real.
Oh yes,
at some point
there has
in
to
that
be.
dynasty.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't start with hatred and expect to breed love from that. So, if I was going to take over the United Kingdom, I would want to create a sense of nationalism, and I mean like extreme nationalism. To the point where, and I've always said this. This is what fucking angers me sometimes when I get branded as like far right because we're like a conspiracy podcast. When I've said on various podcasts over the fucking years that my biggest worry about the far left would be the readdressing and the rebalancing from the right. I have fucking said this now for over 10 years. And I will be proven correct.
It does seem that way, doesn't it? I mean,
2027 was the date I've said ages ago. Because I even said before it was like being the fucking floated around UFO date as well. I said that would be when the Britain has to be forced into another election as well.
Did you watch the Elon Musk speech?
I haven't seen any of the speeches.
I mean, it's about a good fucking 11 minutes. I mean, I can play it for you.
We probably don't have time for that right now, actually, to be perfectly honest, mate, because we do have somewhere else to be.
Oh yeah, we're going on another show. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
we're going to Paul Stubbs' show.
We are. If you guys know what Paul Stubbs is, hopefully I'll ask him when we record the show. Is after he's had it on his channel whether he'll let us put the audio out on our podcast, because I think it might be quite interesting for our audience to listen to somebody else interview us for a change.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing, he came on, and I mean, I was like, I couldn't take my eyes off his t-shirt. Because his t-shirt had the fucking eye, and then but Elon went, "Oh, this is from awesome what? Oh, the fucking Awesome Wall. What's his name? Awesome. Oh, the fucking the UFO guy. I can't say it. What's his name, Lee? The
Orson
guy did
Welles.
Orson Welles. That's it. Yeah.
No, he had a George Orwell shirt on.
Oh, George Orwell, sorry, not Orson Welles. I always get them mixed up. Very similar names, but anyway, I'm like, fucking hell. Is this guy just does he take the piss? You know, just a little bit, because like, you know, he did the fucking the Nazi salute that. Some people say it was a Nazi salute. Some people say it wasn't a Nazi salute. I don't know.
It definitely was. There's fucking videos and photographs of people doing that all over the place.
No, I know there is, but I think after that he's like, let me wear this t-shirt. This'll cause a few people to fucking lose their shit. I think sometimes he just trolls.
I don't think it's a troll. I think like what we're seeing as far as the erosion of free speech in the United Kingdom is you're right. He wore it for a fucking purpose, but it's not a troll. It's fucking purpose. You can Like, it's at what point does trolling become activism?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I found it really interesting the things that he said. But right at the minute, right at the end, when he said, "If you don't fight, you'll die," I'm like, Lee could be right here. Lee could be absolutely right.
I think so. Like, look,
because he's got involved in, and this is not me saying that Elon's some sort of like fucking, I have the beholder here. I'm like,
no, but let's be honest. Elon Musk is in with the in crowd.
yeah, absolutely.
You know, you don't get to be like. He's one of the richest men in the world that we know of. We know there's probably more people out there which are richer that we'll never hear the names of, but he is like for face value one of the richest people in the world. That means he's one of the most powerful people in the world. That means if you're powerful and you can do things for people, people are going to want to tell you things. Excuse me. The level of information he will have on things will be unbelievable to people like you and I. That's obviously a very measured. No, measured might be the wrong word, but he said that for a reason. He said that to be incendiary, and he knows it will be the clip. He knows that we live in a world of shorts and clips now, and he knows that will be what's there. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I tell you what, like this is again one of the things that fucking angers me. I will get in with stuff, right? But one of the reasons I fucking try and back out from going, it's all fucking staged. Like, so I've seen some fucking crazy shit about fucking squibs and fucking blood packs on Charlie Kirk, and the fact he's not actually fucking dead, and the fact QAnon fucking predicted it, and fucking all sorts of stuff. Like, never be under the impression, even if I don't mention something on a podcast, never be under the impression that I haven't got at least some knowledge of it. I'm just choosing what I talk about. Because it's so easy in the world of conspiracy theory, and lazy, if I'm perfectly honest, to go down the road of everything's fucking planned, man. We just live in a fucking movie, man. It's all fucking planned. You just gotta sit back and watch, because that means you just don't do anything. That can't be the smart move to make. But on the other hand, as far as if we talk about the UK, I think we are going through a very fucking convenient time for the rehabilitation of Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, it fits really well, doesn't it?
It all fits.
And I like
well.
Tommy Robinson.
I do too. Do now. I never used to.
How are we supposed to like him?
But this is the thing, and it's very difficult with what's gone on, because people turn around and say like, this is the quickly, because I know we need to wrap up, because we need to get off somewhere else in a minute. I've just messaged Paul about getting us a link to whatever he wants us to do. Now, you see, you've got to send it in 2 minutes. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. What was I saying, Ollie? Sorry.
We were talking about Tommy Robinson.
We were.
And I said I like him too.
Yep, we said that too.
Yeah. And you were about to say what the plan is. It sounded like
that. Yeah, sorry. Like, so we'll go just go back to Charlie Kirk just for a split second, because I think this works with Tommy Robinson thing too. So I'm supposed to believe that Israel killed Charlie Kirk because a couple of weeks ago he said that Israel's gone too far with the situation in Gaza. We can talk about that fucking another time. That's fine. Okay.
And Ben Shapiro's taking his place.
But like, I mean, first of all, Ben Shapiro doesn't need to take any place. Ben Shapiro's a bigger name than Charlie Kirk. Do you know what I mean? Ben Shapiro is already a mega fucking established. I mean, fair enough. Don't get me wrong. He has had maybe a few knocks to his reputation over the past few months, but he's still a mega successful, mega like influential guy. It's and if do you know what, if the US was ever to have a Jewish guy run and win an election, I don't even know if that's ever happened before. But like, you know, it's he would be the guy that you'd see wanting to have a shot at like running for presidency. Anyway, regardless of that, it's not what I want to talk about. But yeah, so I'm expected to believe that Israel like took out Charlie Kirk. But like, then why haven't they took out the plethora of other household names which have been criticizing Israel? How have they allowed Roger Waters, one of the most fucking famous men in the music industry history, allowed to carry on talk about what he's doing, allowed to go on Joe Rogan a couple of times? Joe, it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense that just Charlie Kirk, we need to shut him up immediately. His voice wasn't that fucking prominent. He was a prominent voice, but like, there's other prominent voices out there as well. So that's what confused me with that. But on the Tommy Robinson thing, if he's that much of a threat, why is he still alive?
Yeah.
If there's anything about the deep state, we know.
Because I was convinced something was going to happen to him in prison.
I thought he was going to die in prison as well. But I don't even. This is not me saying Tommy Robinson's even in on it.
No, I think he's not in on it.
I think people use like chess pieces.
I think that's what I think. I think all these people are being played. Tommy Robinson he fucking loves his country, loves his people, and he wants Britain to be fucking great again, you know? Yeah. But at the same time, they're like, we can use this. We'll use this piece. We'll use this piece. We'll use this guy next week. We'll use this.
It feels that way to me. It really does feel that way to me. And it's even like the Agenda 2030 stuff and the World Economic Forum stuff. Now I know there's the idea of revelation of the method, and that I've gone down that road, and I still fuck with it. I think it might be the way forward, like as far as the truth goes, where these people have to tell you what's going on in order to like let you fucking know, let you get some idea of where we are, and then they do it because it absolves them of fucking guilt or karma or whatever. However, I also wonder to myself, maybe we shouldn't think that's the plan. If there is a plan, maybe it's the exact opposite of what we're being told the plan is, because that would make more sense. If I wanted to take over the world, I would have this massive overarching plan with everyone going, look over there. There's like there's a James Bond villain. There's a load of other people. They wear funny suits now and again. They all meet in fucking snowy mountaintops and things like that. Like you would imagine fucking James Bond trying to break into that place to kill Klaus Schwab. That would be a cover for me. But anyway, we need to move, because we're going to go and do this interview with Paul Stobbs. But if you guys that don't know who Paul Stobbs is, he wrote the book "The Nephilim Look Like Clowns." Fucking great guy. He's been on our podcast a couple of times, and
YouTube channel Understanding Conspiracies. Is that the one?
Understanding Conspiracies is the YouTube channel. Yeah. Hopefully he'll give us the audio so we can put it out for you guys. If not, go check out Understanding Conspiracies. We forgot to advertise everything at the beginning of the show because we're useless.
We are shit.
This show is popular in spite of us, not because of us. And so we don't really have time to even do that. But check all the links out in the comments. Please leave
Who we got on tomorrow?
We have Coach Colin from YouTube is on with us tomorrow. I can't fucking wait to speak to that guy. I love his YouTube channel. He's the guy. He started off doing like loads of like reactions to like different podcasts like Joe Rogan, stuff like that. He's fucking great. Messaged me back today. He's all up for the episode. I'm looking forward to speaking to him. Other than that, we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow with Coach Colin, as I just fucking said.
There you go.
Cheers, guys. Ollie, fucking say something retarded.
I need to go for a quick piss before we get on the show. Come on. I
That'll
itch my
do.
arsehole.